Hello friends, this is Adam with Movie Guy 365, and today I'm going to review the 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray version of Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. If you're new to the channel, please hit the like button, subscribe, hit that bell notification. You can also find me over Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd at Movie Guy 365. Okay, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory is here on 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray, released by Warner Brothers, and it comes in a standard slipcover edition available at all your local and online retailers. No Steelbook edition was released here in the United States, but it was internationally. I expect that to change here. I think they just maybe got behind and didn't have a Steelbook ready for this release. So if you're waiting for that, do so, but the slipcover edition is pretty nice in my opinion and worth picking up. Now, as far as the movie itself, what can I say? This movie was absolutely on constant rotation in my household. You know, not to play on the words, but it really sparked my imagination, like as far as creativity, what you can do in filmmaking, blending fantasy and reality. Honestly, it's just one of those movies that it really inspired me, you know, as a young man, and just, I think it continues to do so. When I revisited this one on the 4K edition, I was instantly taken back to my childhood. And it really holds up extremely well. I mean, Gene Wilder, brilliant. I mean, really plays the iconic role very well. And the look of the film is, I feel even today, unmatched. I know they tried doing an update with Charlie and the Chocolate Factory with Tim Burton and Johnny Depp, and that's its own thing. It really is. This one, I feel, for me, is just classic cinema. It is fantastically done here in 4K, which I'll get to in a moment. But yeah, I mean, come on, watch the movie. It's really should be on everybody's required watching list at least once, and it's just a fantastic film. So, all right, we're gonna talk about the picture quality and audio in just a moment, but first, let's do a quick unboxing. Okay, we have the 4K Blu-ray edition of Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory as a slipcover. As I mentioned moments ago, there's no Steelbook as of right now. It wasn't released on the same day. That could change down the line. I expect it will. But yeah, right now, just a slipcover. And I think it looks pretty nice. It has a nice visual pop to it, and it looks really good. So I'm a fan of it. And then we have the back, on the spine, and interior. And then purple. Usually I like artwork on the discs, but the purple works here, so. All right, now let's talk about the picture quality and the audio. Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory on 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray has a 185:1 aspect ratio, native 4K resolution with HDR10 for the grading. Before I begin, just a quick note on the 185:1 aspect ratio. On the previous Blu-ray edition, the aspect ratio was a 178:1, which essentially filled up the entire screen. But that was incorrectly framed for that particular release. A little bit more information was shown on the left-hand side that was not intended. And for this particular 4K edition with the 185, it's perfectly centered. So you get equal amounts of information on the left and right, and it's the exact way it was shown theatrically. For the movie itself, film grain remains perfectly intact. It does not look like any DNR or post-processing was applied here, which is always a welcome thing. And the grain itself is consistent. It didn't get heavy-handed or anything like that. I think it looked good, organic, and it gives you a nice cinematic experience here at home. As for the grading, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory was given proper respect here in regards to HDR. The color palette looks fantastic. Of course, the first half of the film is mostly out and about in the real world, so you get the grayness of the town that Charlie lives in, but a couple bursts of color such as his red scarf and the candy store at the beginning of the film, and when everybody's hunting for the golden tickets, color looks nicely rendered. But when you get to the Chocolate Factory itself, I think it really comes to life. All those greens, reds, blues, yellows, they really flourish here with the HDR grading. The trippy the tunnel scene when, you know, the hallucinogenic effects look really good also with HDR. And other moments such as Violet when she's blowing up like a blueberry. This whole film is very colorful and it's handled very well with HDR. Black level and shadow detail are also nicely rendered here. There's plenty of deep inky moments throughout the film. Once again, the tunnel scene, and also when Charlie's encountering Slugworth in the alley, the shadow detail is really on point. No issues or elevation to speak of. It's actually fantastically done with HDR. The increase in general detail is also very significant. The usual suspects such as clothing and skin textures look really good, but those up-close shots of the Wonka bars when they're opening them up and the wrappers and just the general aesthetics of Wonka's factory look really good. There's enough detail here to make you really pleased here, and the 4K resolution does it wonders. Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory on 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray supports a DTS 5.1 audio mix. Now this is not a direct port over what we got on the Blu-ray. That supported a Dolby True HD 5.1, but for me the DTS 5.1 is a little heavier, stronger, and it has a little bit more energy to it. While an Atmos audio track would have been most welcome here, imagine that tunnel scene with overhead effects. That really kind of just sparks the imagination, but from the original source mono track we do get the 5.1, and I think it's very, very serviceable. Dialogue is rendered through the center channel, clean and clear, no issues to report. Even during the musical moments, the singing comes across very well. And the front channels, they sound great. They complement the center, and they do a good job with their respective audio mixes. And the rear speakers, they also have a good presence. Musical moments really open up the soundstage. It gives you a nice immersive feeling, and throw in some occasional atmosphere and some other effects, and they sound really good. And the LFE channel, it's appropriate. It's not heavy-handed, but it does kick on when it needs to. It's going to be, I would say, a little bit more on the subdued side, but it's still appropriate for the type of movie that it is. For the picture quality, I'm going to give Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory on 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray a solid A. This is a very nice upgrade over the standard Blu-ray. With the correct aspect ratio behind it, the HDR palette does a good job. Colors look fantastic, they're natural but well rendered, black levels are on point, and detail is nicely enhanced. This is a beautiful presentation on 4K Blu-ray. For the audio mix, I'm going to give this one a B+. The DTS 5.1 is a good listening experience. The surround sound field is fairly active with atmosphere and musical moments really bringing it all together, and everything up front sounds great as well. This is overall a very good presentation audio-wise. So that is my review of Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory on 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray. If you're interested in picking this up for yourself, I will leave an Amazon link in the comments section. If you use it, it really helps out the channel. But if you have it already, I want to hear your thoughts down below. In the meantime, please like, subscribe, hit that bell notification. So until next time, this is Adam with Movie Guy 365. I will see you at the movies.